Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to make another peanut buttery chocolate dessert, and look forward to this one. Supposedly it tastes like a Girl Scout cookie, which always a good time. And unfortunately on the low carb thing, they don't really have a lot of options for us. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take 1 1/4 cup of almond flour. We're going to stick this in a food processor. We're going to take 1/3 cup of Swerve, and I'm using the granulated, not the granulated, the confectioner's version. For both applications, the indication is that you don't need to use the confectioner's type for this, because obviously you're going to be pulsing with the food processor, which will take care of a lot of the granular nature. So we've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to slap that in there. And then we've got a 1/4 cup butter that I have been chilling in the freezer. I'm not sure why. It says chilled and cut into small pieces, so I cut it into, I don't know what small pieces are, so about that size. So we'll stick those in there. I think the idea here is to keep it, not supposed to put that in yet. Supposed to pulse to combine, sprinkle the butter over and continue to pulse until, okay, whatever. Close enough. You don't watch this channel, go watch a pro do this anyway. Alright. Okay. Let's put a little bit more in there. I think the idea is just that if it's chilled, it's a little bit more solid, so you don't have the, one giant piece that's just flailing around inside. So it says you're looking for crumbs. It certainly looks crummish. The edges are a little bit, yeah, it's still a little bit. But the idea is it's kind of a shortbready kind of deal. So you want to have it kind of have that crumb texture. And come on, you just stick it in this 8-inch pie pan, 8-inch dish. And then you want to spread it around, because this is going to make our bottom layer, that shortbread layer. If you can see it, so just going to kind of even it out a bit. Alright, close enough. So now we've got that done. Now we're just going to slap it in the oven. It's 350 degrees. It says we're supposed to put it in there for 15 minutes. So while we're waiting for the crust to cook, we're going to go ahead and get started on the peanut butter filling. I'm going to slap it in this bowl here. You want to put, let's see here, how much peanut butter is it? It is 2/3 cup of creamy peanut butter. So we're going to put that in there. Then we need a 1/4 cup of butter. I just have, that's half a stick, which is the other half that we didn't use in there. And then we have, let's see here, I guess we'll wait and let this stuff kind of melt together. You want to do this kind of in little bits, because if you try to do it all at once, you're going to have a problem. Your butter will explode. So I like to do, it says here 30 seconds. I get a little antsy. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this for probably 20 seconds at a time. So the butter is starting to melt. That's exactly what we want. That was only 20 seconds. And since the butter was left out at room temperature for a couple of minutes, that makes it so that it's a little bit more pliable, shall we say. I am going to go ahead and put it back in for another maybe 10 seconds. maybe a little bit longer, maybe 20 seconds again. Idea there being just to get it like super smooth. All right, now it's very smooth, which is exactly what we want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take half a cup of swerve. This needs to be powdered swerve because you're not putting it in a food processor. So that in this case, you do want to get that confectioner's so that it's really powdery. And then it says, stir in the powdered sweetener until well combined and then whisk in cream. So I guess we're going to just go ahead and fold this in. I'm not really sure why you do this first and then do the other, but we're going to follow the recipe. I like to do it that way the first time. You follow the recipe the first time, and then every time after that you can adjust it. Unless it's super obvious that you're not going to like it or something. Somebody asked me to put 5 spice powder in something, the answer is no. I am not going to do that. Based on one crazy experience my wife and I had when we were first married, some 20 years ago. So, alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our cream in here. Whisk in the cream and the extract. So this is 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And then 1/2 teaspoon, and I'm using vanilla extract, I'm not using caramel extract because I don't have any caramel extract. So it says to whisk this stuff together, so I guess I might as well whisk it together. See how that goes. Well, works better than I expected. Man, this stuff smells really, really good. I mean, it's basically peanut butter and sugar, so of course it's gonna smell good. Well, when I say sugar, you know what I'm saying. Sweetener. Look at that. Look at that texture. That is very caramely. Pretty cool. Alright, so that's our peanut butter filling. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our chocolate filling. And in this one's going to be a little more interesting because I don't have any actual like baking chocolate, but I keep hearing about how you can use not baking chocolate. You can just use cocoa powder. This is organic cacao, which has different nutritional stuff on it, so I figured what the hell. Carolyn always talks about it, so I got some. But we're going to go ahead and try to do it directly. Directly from cacao, and you take, it's 3 to 1, 3 tablespoons of cacao to 1 tablespoon of some kind of oil to make the baker's chocolate equivalent. So that's what we're going to try right now. I have no idea how this is going to work. This is 3 tablespoons-ish of coconut oil, and I don't know, I didn't really want to measure it because I was feeling lazy. And then we're supposed to, for this recipe, we're supposed to add also 2 tablespoons of butter. So we've got a stick and a little bit of butter for these, which is a good start. So anyway, so I guess what we're going to do, yeah, because I don't know how to do this. I'm just going to throw this in here. And then I'm going to put this in here. And then I'm going to stick it in the microwave. And then I'm going to, every 30 seconds or so, I guess I had one of these. I'm kind of a mess today. Anyway, I'm going to melt this in there, and then I'm going to stir it, and then I'm going to melt it, and I'm going to stir it, and I'll do this a lot of times, and then I'll come back and let you see what it looks like. Okay, so that was 50 seconds in the microwave, and you can see just stirring it in, and it looks pretty smooth to me. So I'm going to call that a success. Interesting. And then it says to heat on high in 30 seconds, stirring in between until smooth, blah, blah, blah. So now we turn around and put it back in there with butter. I'm going to cut it up a little bit to kind of spread it around. It's a little warm, so it should heat that butter up pretty good. And yeah, so we're going to do that. It says in 30-second increments, so I'll probably be doing 30-second increments. Sounds about right. So we've got our crust in here. Looks like it's just now getting golden brown. I let it cook an extra minute or so. You can see it's starting to brown up a little bit extra right there. So we're going to call that good. So we just set it out here, let it cool. I don't know what let it cool means other than, you know, wait a while. So we'll come back in a minute and check on it. Let's see how our chocolate and butter is doing. Looks like the butter is melting, so that's good. So yeah, now we play the waiting game, because this is super smooth, and I'm sure that that's going to harden up like none other before we actually get to use it, because we have to wait for it to cool. So now I have all the bits ready, and this is look at how runny that is. Super runny. So that butter definitely changed the concoction of that guy. The concoction? The consistency. How about if I use the right word? The consistency of this. So anyway, this is obviously going to harden, so that's unfortunate. We'll have to get it pliable again later on, but we'll do that in a second. So once this cools down, then we apply this, we let that cool, then we add the chocolate. So it'll be a couple more steps. See you then. Okay, so it's cooled off a bit. Still pretty, I mean, it's not warm. So we'll go ahead and stick this on there. I did go ahead and microwave this for another 20 seconds or so, just so it's a little bit smoother, because I don't want to try to spread too much on this, because it is kind of crumbly. Has like a crumbly texture to it. Alright, so we spread this out over the top here, and then after that we're going to take and put the chocolate on, but we have the same problem. We need to get this to set. So it suggests that you put this in 20 minutes. It says refrigerate until set. Final step. We're going to take the chocolate, we're going to put it on top of the refrigerated peanut butter bits. I know Carolyn likes dark chocolate way more than I do, so my tendency would be to about half the amount of chocolate she wants. So now, spread over the chilled filling, set it room temp for an hour. So I'm just going to leave it here and come back in an hour and see how they taste. Alright, let's try these things. See how good they are. It's pretty, definitely very shortbread, crumbly side. That's very dark chocolate. Alright. It's pretty good. It's funny because it's not as nearly as peanut buttery as I would expect. The chocolate is extremely overpowering. That tastes pretty good. I will definitely cut back on the chocolate next time. But man, that shortbread crust, that's good stuff. I really like that shortbread. I may have to I might even consider just making it without the, I'm trying to think here, make it without the chocolate at all, and then perhaps do some kind of a, I don't know, like a buttercream, more like a buttercream style frosting on the top. That could be kind of cool. But yeah, definitely if you really like dark chocolate, that's really good for that. As I've stated before, I'm not as much of a fan of the dark chocolate, so for me that's not as much of a selling point, but they're definitely good, especially if you like chocolate. So I'm going to probably be doing a modification of this one. But until next time, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you later. Have a great day.